Why am I lighter? Am I on a filter? Am I on a filter? I don't want to be on a filter. I look too yellow. I'm not on a filter though. Am I in a filter? Before the emotion. I think that's more like me. Molweni, molo sisinesiye ndimthandayo. Thandwa ndim. Hi Nandi. How are you, Noli? Ninjani bethunana? Are you guys good? Nditya amahlamvu apha, nditya amahlamvu. Hi Z. Nditya amahlamvu, niyayazi ukuthi into eni-reason andithi. Welcome, sithandwa sam. Makamoyi, hey. Hi Matsilisong. Hi Mohau. Hi, ndimhlephi ntombi. Hi Z. Ndimhlephi. Futhi today benifuna uxolisa guys. Yazi I come here wearing a onesie every day. Ndiyaqonda ubana niyandijaja ngoku. Hi abanda le apartment. So Lindokuhle is gonna join us in like 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Because une-load shedding apha hlala khona. Hi Kongalani. Une-load shedding apha hlala khona, like there is load shedding where she stays, but the electricity comes back at 8 o'clock. But usually, how long was your masters? I haven't done my masters yet. I'm gonna start my masters next year. Usually, electricity must near none. Hi Mashenge. Electricity doesn't come back immediately. It comes back maybe after 10 minutes. So she said we must give it 10 minutes. Ninjani Betuna, how is work? Where are you checking in from? But we must like the like so that it attracts more people. That's what I hear. I don't know. But I also wanted to say this. When Lindokuhle's hi user 169 from Limpopo Polokwane. So when Lindokuhle speaks, guys, I'm not going to read the comments and say anything because I don't want to interrupt him. Hello, Aj. I don't want to interrupt him because I normally see on our lives, like when the person tells their story, some of you guys would be writing questions like Nibuzi Mibuzo. And I highly appreciate the people that sometimes get on the comment section and actually answer the people who are asking questions. Guys, Odile is here all the way from the UK. Hi, my darling. Am I still unable to add you Odile to our conversation? How do you make it so we can speak? Not this typing. Senza kanje mandibonisa ukwenza the example. Yabo? Senza kanje ndiya ku-invite kanje yabo ndikuinvite. Khathi ngibona uxolile uya-invite ka namhlanje na. Aka-invite. So if you feel like you want to join the conversation like this, mntase uyabo uphakathi ke ngoku inside abantu bangakuva xa uthetha. But if you feel like you want to join the conversation like this, you request and I accept you. But Lindokuhle, when she tells her story, when she tells us her journey, don't ask questions about how do I get into public health? I won't be able to answer those questions here because those are better at that particular moment and I don't want to distract her. Yayibona mntasi bisebenza kanjani? Hi Enhle. TD all the way from SMU. SMU in the house. Student nurses, hello.
Z.
Yakuva. Uyasiva wena? Soze ndinwe bhutam. Soze ndinwe. Uyasiva wena?
I do on my side.
Okay, nathi siyakuva.
Loud and clear.
So this is how you request, but I will request that we request when Lindokuhle is done telling us her story so that we can then ask her questions.
That's fine. Perfect.
Lindokuhle is here. Let me send her a request. Nzwake, hi. There we go. Yeah, invite send. Can you please answer the question here, job opportunities for someone with PGDP in public health? Can I take the questions, Mhlambi, like we'll have 5 minutes after Lindo is done? Okay, let's do this. Kongelani, let's do this. Are you in a hurry? Because I see that you actually want to leave. But I wanted us to do this, to let Lindo speak and then we do questions. Is that okay? Is it okay if we let Lindo speak and then we do questions? Because the questions are going to be based on whatever Lindo is going to be talking about and also based on everything that you guys are asking. Is that fine? Unless you are in a hurry to go somewhere, Kongelani, please respond so that we can go ahead. I'm waiting for your thumb. Okay, everyone says okay. Standazam.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know if everyone else is okay. Guys, are you okay with Lindo's volume? Lindo, this conversation was supposed to happen in all my platforms. Like we would plan for Facebook, plan for Instagram. We would literally plan for all my platforms and it never happened.
Yeah, and I'm to blame. Sorry about that, guys.
But I think God wanted a perfect platform. I think I wanted you prematurely, and now I have an audience that truly needs to hear from you. I don't remember us having a phone call. I remember us doing voice notes quite a lot, guys. Lindo and I actually have never met in person. We've been Facebook friends for years, right?
Yeah.
We've been Facebook friends for years, and now it feels like we personally know each other. Actually, that's literally how I feel about you. But yeah, I'm gonna let you to tell us your story your way, right? I will just have very few questions to ask, and the guys will jump in later on to also ask you questions. But I think I want you to tell us your story from the time you got into nursing school to where you are now. But before you do that, I will allow you to introduce yourself.
Sure. Okay. All right. So yeah, this is Lindo. Hey guys, I don't like saying managing director, because it's like a big role. But I normally say that I'm just a lady that will get to make sure the key is available so that we can operate and have fun. I can just say that. But I was born, bred, and I normally say peanut buttered in Soweto because I did everything in my life in Soweto, including my tertiary qualification in Soweto. But usually, when I was in high school, I normally tell people that for me, I feel that this profession actually, I was chosen for it. It was never part of my plans. Even how I got in was just purely God's grace, because it's just the guy who was an admin in our student affairs at that time was a former student in my high school, previous high school. So he came with the application forms and just said, anyone who's interested, and guys, a salesperson, this person was like selling to us. It's like, no guys, you're gonna have to apply. Hey, there's like real money here. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm just applying because everyone in class is doing it. And when I got to when I got my results in matric, I was in UJ, and I was not pulled out, but like I was told gently, in front of everyone in class, that if you haven't paid your registration, you're not going to be able to go through with the module. So on that very same day, I got the call to say that we have accepted you to come and do your nursing. So are you still interested? And I was like, okay, I don't have anything else to do, so why not? And then I got in, and I wouldn't lie, in my first year, I had so much depression because everything was just not going as planned. And I only found love when I was doing my third year as well. And throughout my learning, I would say that good things happen to me when, like, my friends will tell you that, one thing about Lindo, we don't know what's going on, but everything good will just happen to her. And things, and she's not even planning, she doesn't even want those things, but like good things, lecturers would be like, no, let's call Lindo to facilitate her peers, do that. And I'm like, guys, I just don't want to be here.
Sure.
Okay. Did my schooling, and I graduated, and I was placed in also in maternity. And I was like, I don't understand what's going on.
This
And
is ComSave.
yeah, now this is ComServe, I'm done. And I'm like, okay, I keep on reapplying. I'm like, no, I want to go out. I want to go out. The matron is like, no, we will actually pull you out. We will actually get to make you to rotate in other areas. Because I was like, Mina, I just want to be in a primary healthcare setting because I love the working hours.
Okay.
I kept on requesting other people when they were requesting, they would get like that, their request would be fulfilled. Mina, mine. And I'm like, what's going on, guys? Like, what's going on? I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I just want to go. And the matron was like, no, you, okay. And then I got to a point of like really saying, okay, this is where I want to be. And yeah, I actually just, I moved, being there. And here's another thing as well. When they were hosting the Nurses Day as well.
Mm-hmm.
I got an award for being like one of the best professional nurses, and yet I was still a ComServe. And I was like, I don't know, maybe it's this their way of saying that you need to stay here. But I'm like, even if you're giving me awards, I don't care. I'm moving out. I want to move out. And I actually started making more research around the places where I wanted to be in. I went to Clicks, I went to Discam. And one thing about me, I normally even tell people that networking is very good. You have to network, sell yourself, take those business cards, make a conversation. People are very kind, they're also just waiting on you to initiate the relationship. So I went to Discam and I was like, hey, I really love this place. It's so nice. It's like Vele, it's a clinic, scales and whatnot. I'm like, how did you get the job?
I
And
want to interrupt you. I want to interrupt you and go back to the year of your ComServe because I remember you very well during that year. You used to wear pink scrubs and you were very attractive. So I want to interrupt you. During that time when you were in maternity, you did not fall in love with maternity?
no, I'm not gonna lie, no.
Really?
No.
Okay. We move.
I was just, I was like, okay, I think this is where God wants me to be. So, yeah, it's just one of those relationships whereby it looks very good, but you're like, I don't want to be with this guy. I really don't. I don't like this guy. I like the toxic ones.
I hear you. So you went to Clicks and Discam and started to be inquisitive.
Yeah, I went there and I told them that, okay, I really wanna like be in this space, and how did you guys get in? And sometimes people will be like, I do this, I do this. And I was like, no, can I please talk to your manager?
Come
And
on.
I remember this lady was like, do you want a store manager? I'm like, no, I'm not a store manager. I'm not laying a complaint. I want like a nursing manager that's handling here. And she's like, you're okay. And then she gave me an email. And then after she gave me the email, I went to customer service and I said, is this email valid? And they're like, no, they don't know anything nursing related and whatnot. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then I called the very same day, I called the head office and I was like, hey, I got an email of this and this and this. Okay, I made a lie to be like a customer, but I actually want to talk to this person. And when she got the call and I was like, hey, I actually want to apply, I want to join your team. Like I was actually like selling myself as if like I've worked there. I know what's going on, what's there. And then she was like, oh, okay, cool. Please send your CV and then we'll see what will happen. And then it became quiet. And then at that time I was like, okay, cool. I don't know what's going on. And then after a few weeks, and then I got the call to come in for an interview, then got the job. And yeah, then
You
from
never told me this. You know about our clicks and Discam relationship. You never told me this, but I'm interested to know this. So you've never went to Discam or clicks to do locums, like a lot of people. I hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, you have to go and do locums frequently." So when you went straight and spoke to the manager and said, "Hey, I want to join your team,"
yeah,
without doing the locums thing,
no, no.
ma'am.
No, no, even today when I went to one of the clinics, I was telling people that I've got a very personal relationships with the regional managers here. Yeah.
Guys, I hope you are taking notes, ne? Lindo, you literally fetched your own job.
Yeah, I mean, Hashem, even now when it comes to the practice as well, we are there.
Okay, my jaws are already on the floor with this life. Okay, let's continue.
So, okay, and also, before also like getting the, yes, you are right. I did actually went for also like locuming at clicks when I was using SA Locum Agency as well. You can Google them on Facebook. They also have social pages on. You can Google them and like really, guys. I normally tell people that, well, most of my friends are gonna be like, "Hey, when you always work hard, you don't have time." I always encourage everyone that I feel that in our 20s, this is the time whereby we have to use, instead of me making more time into chilling 6 to 6, let me use that 6 to 6 to actually find skills that will actually develop me where I want to be. Because sometimes you can have all the qualifications, you can have all the experience, but I personally feel that it has to be at your advantage as a person. So I'm just like, I used to locum and me knock off from a night shift and then get to locum there and then get to see, because I wanted to know the systems, because retail nursing is also like quite different. It's also primary healthcare, but it's another field in primary healthcare. So I just wanted to know all the systems that they are using there so that I can get also to see, well, I still want to be here, or maybe I just want to be here because it looks like a nice working environment.
So you're saying the Discam PHC is different from the DOH PHC?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. It's very different. It's very different. The only similar thing about it is that it's also like nursing led in a way, because you are independent in your own space, and even in that your age as well. It is like nursing led. Primary healthcare sisters are at the forefront, but it's just that in that your age, they most of the sisters that, okay, actually all like the model, it is supervised and facilitated by doctors, so they are given like that role to prescribe medication, unlike in Discam, because the pharmaceutical council doesn't allow registered nurses without primary health care to prescribe medication above schedule 2.
At your age, you stayed your ComServe only?
I did my ComServe in 1 year post ComServe.
So you worked for Department of Health for 2 years?
Yes, ma'am.
Only 2 years. How long did you stay at this camp?
3 years.
Okay. And after the 3 years at this camp, what happened?
So after the 3 years at Discam, well, on my second year at Discam, I was like, okay, this is also like something that we do not have where I come from as well. I started like also searching for, oh no, let me not lie. You know what happened? Usually now it's actually compulsory for you to plug your qualifications next to your working station at Discam. So when I was there, like the customers, when they were coming in, they kept on saying like, you are like a midwife. I'm like, yeah, like there's nothing wow about it, it's like it comes with our course. And I didn't actually know that people in that community, they actually recognize midwife like so big. And like here where I come from, to say that a midwife is just like a person that works in maternity, that's it. There's nothing special about those people. And then
So you're saying the other class,
yes,
it
the
actually values midwives. If you say you are a midwife, you are a big thing.
Bona, you are
Highway,
there. They actually value midwives even more than like obstetricians. It's just that they get to actually choose to be in settings whereby that obstetricians are like highly valued because it's like a big tenant as compared to like a midwife.
True.
So they actually in that community, yeah, I was also like shocked, like,
I'm shocked too.
yeah. So they actually kept on being like, yo, you're a midwife. Because even this other lady, she was like, no, I'm comfortable for you to like get to do my antenatal care. And I've got a gynae. And I was like, Mercy, you've got a gynae, so why can't you continue everything with the gynae? And she's like, no, it's not compulsory. As long as you get to see your gynae like 2 or 3 times, then you can do my other visits. And I was like, how? Like, what's going on? What are you guys using? And I was like, okay, because at that time, I need to think about targets. There's also a thing of you not chasing away the customer. So once you also yourself, if you're competent around that thing and into the procedure, then you are allowed to do it. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. Let me just do all the antenatal care, and I did like in the DOH model. And
Yeah.
then she was like, she would come in for vaccinations, and then would go to the gynae, and then from there the gynae called at some point, and the gynae was like, okay, who are you? You've actually like done other things as well that I missed out. Oh, okay. And I'm like, okay, I'm working at Discam. And this gynae was like, oh, you know what, you can consider going maybe into places like Genesis. And I'm like, okay, what are those places? What's going on there? And then when I made a research, I'm like, oh, it's maternity hospitals. And I was like, yo, no, I was still recovering from the hardships. So I'm happy here. And other
From the
people, when they
DOH
kept on,
hardships.
no, they are, guys. Because when I tell people that as a comserve, you'd get to be alone in a postnatal ward, you'd get to be alone already. For me, I tell people that my training, I wouldn't say it was traumatic, but the joy that people found, it's something that I didn't find. I was only 19 when I saw my first delivery. It was something, I'm still recovering from it. To say that, okay, whoa. Yeah, I wish every day that, maybe we had a debriefing around that, but we just had to move on to be like, yo, just like that. So
You are amplifying something that I think that 3 people. You are the 3rd person that I'm having this conversation with. Lindo is based in Soweto. You guys, please give us likes, give us gifts. But you are amplifying something that a lot of people have been saying, Lindo, when you are saying all you did was to see this pregnant woman, right? And the pregnant woman went and saw a gynae, and the gynae picked up a phone and took his time and gave you a call. You know why? Because you were so excellent with that particular patient. And I don't think you were excellent with that particular patient because you wanted to be recognized, right? I mean, I bet you cared less about recognition. And it's something that every guest that has been coming here has been amplifying. You guys are saying, when we are in our jobs, wherever we are now, be excellent and be good, because you don't know who's watching and you don't know what door will open just by you being excellent at this particular patient. I mean, who would have thought that being good to a patient like you were, attending a patient in holistically, would make a gynecologist, a specialist, to pick up his phone and call and say, and like, who are you? I hope you guys are taking notes, because I'm definitely taking notes. And you are in this camp now, and they are telling you about Genesis and the private clinics, and you're like, no.
Yeah. And then, afterwards, a lot of clients that, and then COVID actually, okay, so I got into an accident as well. I was away from work for like a long time. And then when I went back, and a lot of people were coming to like really show me that, oh, okay, I had needed to catch up their babies, because I met most of their babies. Some of the ladies I did like antenatal care, I met most of their babies now. They are like older, and they still shocked. Oh, you've got a cast on, what's going on? And then from there, this other guy was like, you know what, you should actually consider into going, being a midwife. And I'm like, I am a midwife. Like, what do you mean? And this guy, I will never forget. Like, I don't know, I feel like I just need to go back and just search everything. And he was like, no, look, these are the places whereby, because they were delivered by private midwife. So he was telling me to say that there are like these things in South Africa being done like this, like this, like, and I was like, okay. And then I started making a research, even like the current seniors that actually also got to, when I introduced myself, like they loved me like instantly. I was telling them that, I used to stalk you guys so much. I used to stalk you guys like, hey, who's this? Hey, who's this? And I was telling them like, this year I'm working with them.
Yeah. Is it the ladies that you normally post on your Instagram? Is it? I think there's a program, because I saw a page on Facebook that had posted you. Because also, guys, Lindokuhle does a completely different midwifery. Like, you're doing UK midwifery. I've never seen the type of things that you do for your patients. You make a person wants to fall pregnant. Please follow her on Instagram and I think on Facebook as well. I think you worked with the lady that hosted the conference that was happening today. Is it sensitive midwifery?
Yes, that's also another thing on how we found each other as well. I would also say like she also found me. So
you are doing your research while you are still at this camp?
yeah, I did that. And I even remember that, okay, I would make like screenshots, and then, okay, when I got the accident with my car. But one thing that's lovely about the Androids that you are using, you can be able to get
Your data.
from your past iCloud. So when we met as well, I was telling them that, guys, I used to stalk you so much because I really wanted to see the type of work that you guys are doing. And then I got to a point of being like, you know what, it's actually a breach of contract for me to start doing this, because I was like, okay, I also feel that, firstly, I was like, no, I didn't think about it as a business, but I was like, okay, I would love to really host such things, in Soweto. But at the same time, though, it's just also like ideas like this. I don't know where to start and who to follow and things like, yeah, it's just a whole lot. But I was like, okay, cool. Then I asked my manager about it, and my manager was like, no, there is like, yeah, maybe study the site and get to see. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I initiated, hey guys, how about we start the antenatal program, as much as it's now implemented when I'm gone. Gee, I nearly said I was part of, but we're not there.
So you went to your manager and spoke to her about bringing in the ANC program at this camp.
Yeah.
Hi,
So
Mfaz.
it's something that may have been, proposed, but they were also looking for people that can be able to like really put this into implement it, put this
Implementation.
explore. So I think that a lot of people were also just didn't know how they can bring the two models together, because first and foremost, having to, when you are going through like the DOH model as well, the ANC cards, everything, like you're also just seeing with this side we don't have enough resources, as much as we are private sector, but we don't have enough resources to carry that model. So you have to see as a person. I think another thing with me, it's just God's grace for me to like really have carry those innovative ideas to be able to put things together. So man, no, I was also part of a lot of things as well in this camp. Even one of the clinics also ending up with a state star because I was motivating for it. So it's just also as a person, then I was like, you know what? I unfortunately I cannot be able to go ahead with this idea that I have where I am. So I will need to like really hand in the resignation.
Sure.
And I think another thing as well that was driving was that there were other changes that were going to be implemented in the nursing department, and for my health as well, they were just not working for me, because I even gave them a letter from my surgeon to say that I cannot be able to work these amount of hours. So if this is proposed, yeah, it's just going to be too much, unless me personally I feel that I'm capable to actually go ahead, because I'm limping, I can't walk well, so it's quite strenuous on my side. And then I actually I resigned, and then when I resigned, I started low coming as well.
So you're resigning without a job. Guys, Lindokuhle will give us her handles when she's done. So you're resigning without a job.
That's how what when I tell people sometimes, like, I love testing God, but so I resigned, but at the same time I had so much faith. I had so much faith to say that people are always saying as a nurse, like, you'll never be out of a job. And when I resigned as well, I I met like agencies as well, because like I'm saying, I kept on talking to other people, and they're like, no, there's like agencies that can help you out, you're low coming, you're doing this, you're doing this. But at that time, my health condition like didn't actually just allow me to work like those 12-hour shift. And there was this other insurance job, and I was like, oh, okay, let me just get to be on it while I'm just also just fixing my other things as well. So I started actually asking like independent midwives, how did you go? How did this happen? And then one of my friend as well, she was planning to open, but I don't know what happened. And then I went to her, and then she directed me, no, join this group SPNP, and then they will give you all the directives and help
It's
you.
called what?
SPNP.
Okay.
So it's South African Private. But it's an association for private practitioners.
Okay. Guys, I hope you are noting that down. So where is the group? Is it on Facebook?
You can get it on Facebook. They're not so active on socials, but you can get it on Google, because I got the numbers on Google, And then I called the lady, and then the lady sent me the documentations via emails, and I joined in because there's a fee that you need to pay. And then from there, you need to join. Yeah, and then they will actually make you, they will push you on the WhatsApp group as well. Yeah, and then I had a practice number because it was compulsory when you are working in the retail sector to have a practice number.
I remember you once said that to me. Where do we get a practice number? I remember when I contacted you and I wanted to get into the discount. I remember you saying to me, I need to apply for a practice number. Is that the first step you make? Getting a practice number?
So yes, okay. Yeah, for me, I would advise that my things are just all over the place. So thing is, if you were to get a practice number, there's also like other things that you need to add on, like the address of where the practice is going to be, the business account numbers. So I normally say maybe just get to join the SPNP first, and then from there you can draft down your business plan, and then from there you can actually okay, so I don't want to actually also tell people to get to rush to open business accounts, because also when you're opening business accounts, SARS is also looking, giving side eye. So I would say that then from there you can so the practice number actually, yes, does differ from with SUNC number. It's two different things. And then because when you are applying for a practice number, they will need your SUNC number. And then you need to, then you can actually go like apply online at PHF. And then you can actually, I normally say that when you're still starting out, the address, if you had everything like all planned out, you even know the place where you're gonna be, then you can use that address. But a lot of people just use their home address until they actually have found like the premises where they want their place to be situated, and then they can always change. The beauty about it is that online, the people that are working there, they can always like help you to change anything that you want to change.
So now you leave this camp, right?
Yeah.
Because I think I want your story, because I see your clinic on Instagram, right? And I go like, oh, I've never seen something like this. I'm in love with this. Because I want you to take us to what you are doing now. So you leave this camp and you're doing these locums and you join the SPNP group, right? That is where you got a group of like-minded people, I believe. And they assisted you to put structures in place. Like you were saying that you had all these ideas all over the place and you didn't know how to bring them together and actually make a perfect, clear picture, right? So you meet these people from this particular group. What is it about? What's the group about? And what do you think you benefited the most out of the group? And maybe your experience during your conception phase of your clinic with the support of the group.
Okay, so I would say that I gained confidence into actually seeing that, oh, there's actually even other people that are also still struggling. I'm not like also the only one. And there's like really kind seniors that get to guide you, because I mean, on my first text that I sent on the group, I was like, hey guys, I'm a very junior someone in this industry, but this is where I am, and I would really appreciate the support. And you know, people actually privately texted me to say that you need to have the section 22s, and this is the person gave me context of the person that can actually help you to apply. This is because also you just, when you're giving a person to say that, okay, this is where I'm actually planning to be. So for me, I was like, no, primary healthcare, it's also like not something that I like get to enjoy the most, because even when I was at Discam, they know, even my colleagues are like, yo, when there's a pregnant woman, Linda will just go to the aisles and now sell things, they're shopping together and things like that. So I was like, okay, so for me, I'm just focusing on pregnant ladies and also immunizations, because we're doing like the EPI. Yeah, it's something that you are focusing on in Discam. So these are the things whereby I will want to render in my community. So they help you out to send digits of the person that can help you into applying with the Department of Health. Because if you're going to be dispensing any medication, or you're going to be using any medication in your practice, you actually do need to apply for Section 22, because it is a how can I put it? But it's more like a document that is regulating on how you should be handling medication, and also the types of medication that you should be keeping in your practice as well.
For instance, we don't get to prescribe Schedule 6 drugs, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Even as midwives as well, I want to say it, even as midwives as well, as much as you're planning to have your own MOU one day, just know that there are tight restrictions into you having a pethidine in the practice. You always need to have a prescription that the doctor will get to send, as much as our scope of practice allows us to administer, because we also cannot leave that woman in pain. But still, you need to follow the guidelines, that you need to be working with the doctor that will give you a prescription for.
Guys, sorry, Lindo. Guys, I did say that if you are going to ask questions on the comment section while she's talking, we will not be able to answer. But when she's done, you guys can request, and then we're going to come to the questions and answer. So don't say, why are they ignoring my questions? I just don't want to like be interrupting her a lot. So you highly recommend that people who want to start out on private practices, to ensure that they have the support that they need, they join the group that you just recommended.
Yes, yes. Even for mental support as well, because I know that it's a very huge step for people to take. Me on my side, I normally tell people that one thing about me, I'm very impulsive as a person. So I didn't feel too like that, oh, it's so much of a risk, until now I'm in it. Then now I'm seeing that this was a risk. I was like, oh, no, it's fine. We can open. Wake up tomorrow, apply for a practice number. Up until you're inside. So I've just been that person. I've been a very impulsive person. So yes, you have to apply for those with the Department of Health if you want to be having any medication in your facility as well. And then also you need to if you're planning to turn your thoughts into your ideas into an NGO and NPO as well, you still need to register. If it's for a business as well, you still need to register. Okay, well, I did a business, but currently I feel like I just need to change, because financially there's just no finances.
Wait, by register you mean with CIPC?
You need to.
Are you at CIPC? Are you able to change a company to a?
Guys, Ngilapho, I'm there. There isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I need to, because yeah, wow. So you need to actually there was a lady that was helping me out, because one thing also about me, I love a life that doesn't have a lot of hassles. I love I love a convenient life. So normally I don't mind even paying for convenience. That's something about me. So even this girl, she was helping me out everything, registering the business, helping me out with the business plan, and then from there, then you can take those things as well and add it on to your practice application form.
You are submitting this application form to the South African Nursing Council?
to the BHF.
Okay, all right. Sank doesn't get involved in all this process of opening a...
It actually, you need to. I've actually submitted an application because they need to come and do an inspection, and currently they haven't given any response. So they'll just tell you that no, get to email your documents on this email address, and then they will come. And then it hasn't been.
Okay. Okay, I don't know if maybe there's something that you did not share on putting up the practice, because I want, when you are done with putting up the practice, I want you to tell us what exactly you do at your clinic, because honestly speaking, I feel like you're doing things completely different. I've seen a lot of midwives. I feel like you're doing midwifery completely different, and I think maybe I might have people who are not even nurses here, or people who are in Soweto who would probably love to come and join your services. So I don't know if you're done with sharing with, in terms of the documents that are needed for one to open a practice, but if you are, please tell us what you do in your facility.
That I love so much, because that was like the whole intention around it, to be like, oh, when I was doing EPI in my 4th year, it was like totally different than how I was doing EPI when I was at Discam. So I was like, no, we also deserve to have such facilities, because it's not like what Discam, how we were practicing at that um uh, in the facility. It's not like it's something that is not regulated by the South African Nursing Council and also DOH. No, everything is, we have the emergency bag, we have the oxygen, everything, but it's just a fine environment to work in. So even in DOH as well, we also deserve that. We also deserve to have like those small teddy bears, so that the kids can also, because I also feel that maybe one of the other things that we are having like a white coat is because when you go into the clinic, you get exposed to like really painful, like you're just exposed to trauma, you know. You just you don't go there. And even like when you are pregnant, and that's why like a lot of ladies would get to depend on you also so much medically, because in their mind they're just thinking that for me to have a successful pregnancy and birth, this is the person that I'm highly depending like on, and this person is like medically trained, so the only thing that they're gonna be giving you, it's just like medicine. And in other instances you don't need like so much of that. You just really need to take power and really embark on healthy habits. So yes, another thing as well, it was that side in that community, I saw that most of the people are quite really empowered about their health, you know. Things like doing vitality, because we would take it, you know, lightly, as you know, when you've trained in DOH, you just like, it is a Discam sister, you're just working there to take BP. But you, unless you go for like trainings, and because one thing about, like, I love going deep into things, I love research. So it's like, okay, why like people, you know, so like it's a community whereby they want to be doing a blood pressure for points, like what is going on, let me go deep, what is this about? And I see that it's just really more of like an empowered community. They also know their rights as people. They even know when you fit into their health status as a healthcare provider. And that is something that's really powerful, that when I came back here, and I also applied at City of Joburg, because I was like, okay, I also more like want like a reminder as well into the DOH model on how it handles the mom and the baby, because I'm going to be serving a community that is in that model. So I also just want to see how things like really changed much or not, like what's going on. And then so
Did you
I
work for COJ?
yeah, I did.
You worked for COJ? Hi, Lindo. Guys, Lindo worked at DOH for 2 years, worked at Discam for 3 years, and did touch-ups there and there, and then went to COJ. Girl, how are you getting all these jobs?
Guys, I would lie to say that How? I don't know, guys. As in, I don't want to lie and open a YouTube channel and lie to people. I would just say it's actually God's grace. It's just God's grace, and it's just that there was also like something powerful that Sebabato also said when we were talking some other time, to say that you have to write things down. I'm also like in that, to be like, okay, this is what I want to see. This is what I want to see. This is what I want to see. I've got a very small booklet as well. So just write down. And I just say that as a person, I also think, when it's your season, it's just like your season as well. You can open up so many YouTube channels and really tell the community that, you need to fast, you need to do. Yes, as a Christian person, those are the things that you are doing to like really keep up, fill our cups. But as a person, I believe that when it's your season to be there, it's your season. You cannot, no matter what you do, no matter what, things will just find you as well.
When it's your time, it's your time. And I think there's a scripture that says, when the time is right, the Lord will make it happen. I think that's how our lives are. At times we want things to go our way. I mean, I look at, from the time or from the time you went into nursing school, I look at how you didn't want yourself there. And COJ is City of Johannesburg. Is it a municipality or is it a Department of Health?
Municipality.
Oh, it's a municipality, right? I'm looking at how all these years, you did not even want yourself where you were placed. And it looks like everything or everywhere you've been was creating the woman that you are today.
Yep. That is so true. That is so true. Because even at Discam as well, I tell people that even the situations that I've met when I was there was a time whereby I went to like one of the busiest clinics. When I tell people, because people just thinking when you're working in those settings, it's like a very easy environment. People don't know that when you are mentally not okay, you still need to smile because your salary depends on that smile.
Sure.
And there's like real litigations there, because people may be like, but it's just a clinic. A person now getting like a fever from the vaccination, if you didn't educate that, no, it's just a normal reaction. But if the baby still feels like this after this time, then you need to see a pediatrician. They can come back and be like, you gave the baby a wrong vaccine. So it's just one of the things that you get to deal with as well. And when I'm saying that busiest clinics, I would get to vaccinate about 10 to 14 babies in a day. And I know that in the DOH, you actually get to do more.
67 alone.
Yes. It's just that here's another thing that I've seen as well. When it comes to also that model, you also like really pushing, but you get to also miss other things as well. So at least in that in that setting, you're able to give like that individualized care and get to see, you could see, oh no, this baby is just also not picking up weight so nicely. Because I normally tell people that we would think that malnutrition is also on this side. It's just that we don't have food, but on that other side, there's like also other things that will get to expose you. Because I didn't even like think that babies also, they need like iron supplement as well. Growing up, they do have pica. They also going through other things. So that side, you're able to learn and get to see, oh no, on the side, this is how I get to play my part as a nurse, and now I need to refer out. So at your age, it's quite you actually also working with all the things like you memorized, say blah blah blah. So many things also get missed out as well.
The service is compromised at your age.
Yeah, because you're dealing with a huge population as well. So at least that side, you are able to even see that, oh yeah, this baby is not even responding very well to this type of a milk, so let's rather move to this type. And obviously, yes, it's really, I don't want to say like money or market what related, but now you're also getting to also learn so much about things as a person that you also get to advise your friends on about. So yeah, So, and
At
then,
your clinic now, are you doing deliveries?
yes,
Okay.
yeah, so we will get there as well. So yes, but this I also really want to highlight to people that I know that now there are a lot of people that are coming up and wanting to open practices. It's really not as glamorous as we are posting it on socials. It's really not, and I normally even tell people that this is you get to see yourself in life when you are opening a business on no, this is our like I'm this is just not for my character. You also get to see yourself in life when you are pregnant or you're about to become a dad, that no, like this is just not who I thought I am as a person. So yeah, conversation. Where were we? Yeah, and then from there, I was at DOH as well. So when I was at DOH, I was also piloting this thoughts and ideas to say that, okay, how is it going to get to work? So another thing is that I was at DOH as a contract. So the thing is, my contract was also just not binding me as well into what I want to commit myself in. Because I remember I asked about it when we went to sign. And then from there, I remember on that day, then I went back to my GP because I was like, okay, he's like the first person that I thought of, because I went to consult and I was asking like, who's actually taking care of like a pregnant woman? And then he was like, no, it's just me, I just do. And then I refer them out, and I was like, oh, okay, do you offer antenatal classes? And he's like, no, what's that? And I was like, okay, cool, let me get to assist you in this. And then he was the one proposing that, no, don't get to assist me, rather be like a tenant, pay rent and do like your own thing. And I'm going to be supporting you, like when the person is sick or when the person needs an ultrasound, then I can.
During this period, so you went to a general practitioner who has a private practice.
Yeah, medical center, very huge, beautiful one. So that's the one where I normally like even do like the other post as well.
So at this point, when you approached this person, had you already joined the SPNP group?
Yeah,
And you had already your section 22, you had
yeah,
already done those.
yeah.
So now you literally did this step by step.
Yeah, so I actually applied for all those legalities, and then I used my home address, and then afterwards I changed and apply, and I used the practice address, and then for other ladies as well, I used to even do house calls because I was like, okay, let me grow. Oh, I even also like wound trained as well, so. It's just that like I haven't done like the whole 1 year course of wound care specialty, but I'm also able to get to manage other wounds as well. It's like, oh, okay. Then there was this other gogo that came in to consult, and I was like, oh, okay, let me like challenge myself into this, and it healed so nicely. I also want to post pictures of that, but I was like, it's not like midwifery related, but it healed. It healed so nice, like a very big wound as well. So I I actually just would do like those house calls of like the wounds as well, of baby consultations, but not like immunizations. The lady would be like, oh no, my baby's teething, because I've been exposed to like all of those trainings around baby teething, around baby fever and things like that. Then I got to grow like a relationship, and I saw with, oh, okay, you know what, let me now really start like going in and booking clients, and then going ahead. So like, yes, the GP was like, no, just start, be a tenant, I'm giving you the rooms, this is how much you can pay. And yeah, just I'll tell the clients that you are here, this is what you can do.
So when you are approaching the GP, you are still with COJ.
Yeah.
And when did you leave COJ to now saying, okay, I'm diving in?
No, actually, also our contract like it ended as well.
Okay.
And then that's when I was like, okay, maybe this is also like God saying, hey, I need you to be here. Yeah, but one thing that I also want to tell people is that it is a very slow business, or maybe it's slow because maybe me, I'm doing things by the book. I'm not playing dirty. But it's a very, very slow business. It's a very slow business that I'm in a month, I would get to book in new people like 4 to 5. And for me, that's growth because I started with one. So that's, yeah, then you get to see, oh, okay, these are the people for NVD as well, and elective C-sections, and oh, okay, DOH. And then I went to the MOUs as well to say that let me also get to introduce myself, that when they're getting like an antenatal card with my logo on, oh yeah, and the logo, guys, with the logo on, let them know which it mostly like this person is from me, and yeah, so that they can get to like really reference back into the things that I may miss as a person. And yeah, we'll see, we will grow with yeah, with the community.
So
So
you went to the MOUs around your clinic.
yeah,
Okay.
really like a very close MOU. I tell people that one thing about Soweto is like a very highly favored community amongst other communities, low socioeconomic communities in South Africa, because when it comes to health, we are actually also even well funded. Like it's we have everything. It's just that our population is like so huge, and our hospitals as well are also carrying like a huge population, and you just don't have enough doctors. But we've got 2 hospitals, we've got 3 MOUs, and they are just close to, they're even 5 kilometers from each other. So we are just like a well sourced community. But for me, I saw the loophole that what we needed is how can we utilize these resources that we have. And in most cases, we just need to empower and give information to people. And that's why like I'm really so glued on antenatal classes, and really empowering ladies on how their bodies get to work, so that even if they are giving birth in the government, they also do not end up, you know um or not dilating and having a slow progress as well. Mentally, they also need to understand that these are the systems. Unfortunately, we cannot change them because you are giving birth, but you will need to take the power into talking to your baby and your body, that I will come out here holding my baby healthily, and we will go back and book for a postnatal to Lindo.
I don't know if Kagiso Tukisi is still here, but what you just said, that's literally what Kagiso Tukisi said to me on my baby shower. He said, okay, listen, now I need to prepare you for the big day. This is how you need to go through the entire whole thing. And literally, he was the first person, when my water broke, he was the first person I called, and I said, hey, and he said, yep, it's time. Remember what I told you on your baby shower? And that's what kept me going. I delivered at the Department of Health facility, and the nurses who were delivering me, 3 of them, they knew that I'm a registered nurse. They were actually good friends of mine. But there was this particular one who did not know that I was a registered nurse. And I remember she spoke to me on a certain tone. There are tones that people use when they don't know who you are. She spoke to me on a certain tone, right? And after I delivered, and she realized that I'm actually a registered nurse and I'm familiar with this facility, I could see the embarrassment on her face. But what I'm saying is, because of what Tukisi had said to me on my baby shower, and which is what you are saying to these women all the times, even when that girl tried to terrorize me in the labor room, I did not freak out. I knew my goal, and my goal was to get out of that facility with my child healthy, with me being healthy. I'm not gonna let another person come and mess up with my emotions, elevate my blood pressures, and all of that. Start in bringing in fear in me. And I think since we all have midwives here, I think we need to know the importance of what Lindo is saying. She's empowering these women to take charge of the labor. Labor is scary to start things with. As the pregnant women, you are scared. So it's important for us as midwives to I think to comfort these women and to reassure them. That's the word I'm looking for. To reassure them so that we can actually get a successful delivery. As you are saying this, I remember Kagiso was saying all these things to me at my baby shower. And I think the women of Soweto are actually very blessed to have someone saying that. I mean, you are preparing them for such a big day of their lives. And unfortunately, I'm sure some of them can't afford to deliver with you because you don't do free deliveries, obviously. Now they have to go and be at Department of Health, and we don't know who they meet there. But the fact that they met you before that and you prepare them, man, I truly, truly love what you do.
I also, I was telling this another colleague today to say that I also, I pride myself that I've handled a lot of primi-gravidas, because I also feel that as midwives, once we get to make sure that in your first journey you are low risk, chances of you being low risk to your other journeys are high. So because the minute, like once I add on into pushing you to being a high risk, obviously the other
I'm
pregnancy,
gonna be high risk, wire.
so you need to like really take on the first time mothers like with pride and really be confident and say that I will need to make sure that we are still remaining like this. So, and also I would say that my experience in from that I got from Discam as well, to say that the model that they were using, and to keep on empowering people were just keeping healthy, to get all the points as well, giving out to those the health promotion that was used was that thing that I'm going to bring back to Soweto as well. That here we're not getting points, but we just need to really get to empower people about their health. So, and another thing is that I'm young, so, and I'm a social media freak amongst all of my friends. So I was like, okay, well, I normally tell people that there's other people whereby they can use other marketing tools as well. There's companies whereby you can hire and they can do like really good marketing for you. So for me, I'm just still currently using social medias because that's also what I can afford, and I'm also I can't afford to hire a person to do like a proper marketing for me, so I'm just doing everything myself. So I'm just mostly like using social medias, and I'm happy that there's just also one client from TikTok that we delivered all the way. She was from all the way from East Rand.
Sure.
So TikTok is also like really, it's very powerful. It's very powerful. It's very powerful. But at the same time, though, I see that the first thing that I told this person was that I know that you might have been attracted from you seeing all the glamour that I posted, but also understand that one thing about me, I'm not like that person. I'm all about quality nursing care, and that's why I will get to say that we need to do this test, we need to do this test, we need to do this, we need to do. We're not all about playing with balls and like posting on socials. Yes, I'm doing all of those things for educational reasons, so that people can see the impact of us, you being with other mothers, you playing on the ball with other mothers. But at the same time, these are the things that we need to actually have to do in your pregnancy to make sure that we are screening for anything that may bring about any complication. So it's quite important that I normally even tell people that do not get to open a practice because you are tired of working for DOH, or you're tired of working for someone's company, on this side is as hectic as more than what you are experiencing on that other side. It's very hectic because I was telling people that I get to meet my bed like maybe a maximum of 4 nights in a
I
week.
saw, I saw the story on Instagram.
That's a maximum. That's a maximum. So I feel that also entrepreneurs also need to start being vocal about all the struggles for them to end up being there. I would say that I've also now starting, because mentally as well, I was just at a point of being like, oh my gosh, this is too much. So I started meeting people that have been in the game for a longer time, and they told me that, Lindo, most of them would say that I got my breakthrough after like 5 years. Another person was like after 8 years, and I was like, I'm only on my second year and I'm crying. And
So
they were like,
you are on your second year on as a full-time base private practitioner, right?
yeah, but I still locum.
Okay.
I still locum in the hospitals because, like I'm saying, I need to augment my salary because
Yeah.
I have got properties to pay for. It's very hectic, and with the repo rate always going up, I'm feeling it. I am feeling it. I
Don't speak about it. Don't speak about it. I feel like I want to tell Standard Bank to take their house.
I know it's hectic. It's really, really hectic as well. So I do get to locum to like really get to augment my salary from what I make, because currently I tell people that the money that I get to generate from the business, I buy mostly consumables like HIV test, and I would get to even buy things like the things that I would use for OGTT, other things that I would need as well, but and then get to add on like a few rents. Like I would say that the maximum is like 2,000, 1.5. I want everyone to hear this. You need to be honest. We're not making 15,000. I'm not making 15,000. Maybe there's other people that are making 15,000, but it's not me. So, and another person was like, no, maybe it's like how you are running your business. And I'm like, I think, and another thing is that as people, maybe we are not in the same places as well. Well, currently, I'm also not money focused as well. For me, I'm still focusing on how that lady was able to see in my qualification that this person is a midwife. I want a person in Soweto to also get to recognize that.
And
Then,
I think also it is very important. Personally, Lindo, I think if you are gonna run a business because you want money, you are gonna start a business because you want money, you will stop before you even make that money. My sister used to say that if you run a business, the first few years, be it's 3 years, the money that the business makes, it actually goes back into the business. Before you can start to say, okay, now I'm making a lot of money, I'm paying my own salaries, I've got properties. Unless you purchase a franchise, that's a different story. But if you're gonna build your own thing from the ground, the money that the business makes the first few years, it goes back into the business.
yeah, that's for me, Shem. I'm just also at that point that what I am making, it's just buying currently consumables that we are using, because also I still need to comply by I would say that 70% of the clients that I see, they are giving birth in at DOH. So I still need to I need to comply with the model that is used at DOH, so that it's evidence to say that these people were seen as how they should be seen as well. And it's standard that they need to do the HIV test with every visit. The ladies with the high BMI, more than 30, I need to do OGTT. Like today, I was at Discam. I was saying, no, guys, I need that glucose powder I ordered, and nothing has been delivered. And this pharmacist was like, what are you doing with this? I'm like, you wouldn't want to know. let's not go there. I just need 5. Please give me 5. So we for now, that's why I'm saying that maybe I'm not making so much because I'm just keeping things by the book. And I think for me, it's also just wanting to bridge also that gap between private practitioners and the DOH, so that we can see, and one day also when I'm also having my qualifications, I'm also even working towards getting there. Yeah, it's another story on how I also got to cancel doing my BK. Guys, Njolo. So I'm also, for me now, I'm currently working with an evidence into, I want evidence that when I'm up there, I know there, I want to get there to say that this is how I was running private practice using the DOH model. And this is one of the things that I feel like a lot of private midwives, they need to implement, because we are using the government hospitals as our backup, because our clients are not affording to go through to the private obstetricians.
I am glad that you are saying you are bridging the gap between private and DOH, because I think, you know, particularly speaking as an HIV specialist myself, I've always had a problem with my patients coming from the private sector, in terms of management of HIV. People didn't have like HIV test results. A person will be pregnant for 9 months without an HIV test. And when you're saying that you get to buy test kits and you are running things the DOH model, as much as the DOH, it might not be practiced perfectly, but the fact that you are giving your patients the best there is, Lindo, and I think that also means you are actually building a reputation for yourself. You know what I'm having at the back of my mind as you are narrating your story. You are not just building a business, but you are building a legacy. You know, I think your children's children will have this big MOU in Soweto. Maybe, I don't know where will it be, but but they will say, our great grandmother started this, and people will go there because your institution will be known of its quality service. Your institution will be known of its performance. It's truly inspiring. Guys, I'm gonna ask you to join us if you want to ask questions. Before I take the ones on the comment sections, please send guest request. Hi, Lindy, are you there? Should I unmute your mic? Okay. Let me just go through the questions. Guys, please send requests. Someone says, where do you apply for locums at Discam? I think you said SA locums, right?
No, at Discam currently they don't take locums, so you need to apply for a permanent job.
Okay. Someone says, forever wena Lindo.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so I'm just gonna take the questions, guys. Please request to join so that you can have a conversation with us. Where are you, Lindo? Where is that place? Lindo is okay. Lindo, you can tell them where you are based.
So I'm in Soweto. I'm in Soweto. So currently, if you are all pregnant, and another thing as well is that people need to know that we are allowed to only look after low risk mothers. So usually when a person comes in for like their first visit, please don't be heartbroken when they get to take the money for first visit, do all the screening tests, and then like get to tell the person that you are moderate to high risk. You need to be looked after in a hospital setting, or you may need to use the DOH model. Like for instance, ladies that have to be under the PMTCT program, I have to be honest, they need to be under the DOH program. The reason why it's because privately, if we were to do things by the book, it's very expensive.
Is it?
Very expensive. It's
You need
very
to.
expensive because first and foremost, the ARVs, one packet, I think it's about 700,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's about 700. And secondly, you need to take viral load every 3 months, and actually viral load and CD4, it's about 1.8. And thirdly, you need to we need to take a PCR test, and PCR test is about 800 rands when the baby is born. And fourthly, you need to see a pediatrician, whereby the pediatrician will need to prescribe the medication, and you know that privately they're prescribing the double dose, and that both of them, I think it's about 1.1. So privately it's very expensive. You guys, the government is doing so well when it comes to handling HIV, and I even actually advise private practitioners that the minute you are discovering that this person is HIV positive, you really just have to let them go. Really explain the fee structure, put them in a position to say that this is, for me, I say that if you can produce, if this money that I'm calculating now, you can send it straight to my bank account, trust me, then I can really get to work with doctors, then we can take you on. But another thing, it's best to like really move them into a facility whereby they will be well taken care of, because the most important thing in that situation is the baby.
Yeah. Lindo, can you please share your Instagram handles? People wanted them earlier on. For your personal account and for your business.
Personal account is underscore Lindokuhle T, and for the business it's
Can you
I
repeat the
have a
business?
question, Zee.
Yes, Ndase, I will allow you guys to go in a minute.
All right.
Oh, and I'm also working with Network One. Network One, I love it so
That's
much.
where I saw you. That's where I saw you. I wanted that word.
Yes, Network One Health. So Network One Health is actually bringing how like the midwives being at the forefront in the private sector to just, so it's also like we are still compiling evidence to like for it to be implemented, because there's people that have got big qualifications that when they're sitting in those big boardrooms, they'll be like, we are talking about something that has really shown that it worked. So these are the cases that the midwives who were part of the program, yeah.
Okay, Ndase, I'm gonna allow you to go in, Gengo. I've stopped reading the questions here, so I'm gonna listen to the people that have requested.
Hi, Lindo. First of all, enkosi kakhulu, your session, the information nje is so informative kakhulu ngeyona ndlela. But I have a question or just a clarity from you in terms of the ANC booking. Are you doing the NVD deliveries only, or are you referring them when it comes to the C-sections? What do you do in terms of that? And then after delivery, are you keeping at 666 post delivery, or you do have a 24-hour center like so? That is my first question.
Okay, so when it comes to antenatal care for low risk mothers, because as much as you may have like a previous C-section scar, if you are low risk, then you can be looked after by a midwife. But you need to understand that at 36 weeks, you need to refer them out. And when we are referring them out, you need to have done an ultrasound. And when I'm talking about an ultrasound, guys, is another thing. Not okay. Other people may get away with the basic one, but for me, I'm strict to say that you need to see a sonographer. The sonographer will need to write a report that first and foremost, you need to do other people. You need to also do a Down syndrome test. You also need to do fetal anatomy scan, and then from there at 36 weeks, everything is being checked, and then all the reports, I staple it together with the antenatal card. If your BMI was more than 30, even the GTT results, everything, and then you write a referral and off they go. And then if it's an NVD that's going to be giving birth, they still continue with you. For me, I still continue with them. If they didn't get any signs of true labor at 40 weeks, I refer them out, and then the obstetrician will actually be the one to write that go back to the local clinic in a week, and then you'll come back to us maybe after the following week or what. But for me, at 40 weeks, I refer out, and then let it be a communication between them and the local clinic. Because there's other ladies whereby they can give birth after that 40 weeks, because there was another one that I referred today, and the following day she gave birth.
Sure. Okay. My last one. No, it's not a question. In fact, please consider doing it in future. Maybe you are doing it, but andikuvanga uthetha ngayo. When it comes to ETB, I'm doing ETB in a provincial in Western Cape, and I have a big challenge with the private doctors, not the nurses. Please, Mdase, take that program to you. Because what I always tell the clients is that you can have a medical aid, you can go to the private doctors, but those doctors, they don't initiate TB. They will write a referral to go back to the clinic, you know. So having umdu ofana nawe ke ngoku on experience both private and public, you can do a huge difference to our people, because they don't like going to the public. They have their own reasons. But now, can you please take the TB program, initiate them, baqhubeleke ke abo ke uzame ke i-channels nogqirha bakuthumele kuwe, because nyhani oogqirha, they don't initiate TB. Bayabathesta emveni koko bathi go to the clinic, even though umntu afika athi ndine-medical aid. Omnye was like ndine-medical aid, but then the doctor akafuna initiator. Yes, they don't do that, doctors, ne? Please, Mdase, I'm so proud of you. That's one thing I must say this night.
Okay.
Undizondlalisa man, ingathi ndingumntu okwaziyo. Iwesa nabo Instagram ke mna ke, but I'm so happy in your age, ukubone, like really. Wow, sisi, all the best.
Thank you.
Sizawulandela emva kwakho.
Okay, so when it comes to programs like HIV and TB as well, so there's also like a huge gap between the DOH and the private sector. So
Yes.
doctors are sending people away because those people need to be added on the stats. So thing is, if udokotela yena uzofuna ukuyibamba kuye and then bese igcine iyam, because one thing about TB as well, it's quite it's very complex, and it can go south on like the 4th month, whereby la senithi nangumuntu seka pick up iweight sekaba right. So privately, I would say that there are just certain things whereby systems shouldn't also okwamanje, because financially it's like a very expensive system. It's best when a person gets to be referred out.
I actually wanted to ask Maga
Asante.
Asanda, I wanted to ask to say, does Department of Health have any, I don't know, some sort of, I think ikhona lento kwa immunizations. I remember when I was still in Department of Health, there were clinics that had a relationship with DOH and they were getting drugs from DOH. There was something like that. I wasn't following it up that much because then get interested. But I'm wondering if DOH would have such a relationship, like pertaining programs like this one, which is TB. Is there something like this?
What is happening, Zia, when it comes to immunization, I know of Oaklick and some stores of Discam, whereby they are using the government stock.
Yeah.
But then, Lindo, when you get there, uzokuxelela, no, sisi, we are running out of government stock. The only stock that is available, it's for the store. You need to pay. Otherwise, ezo ziba free. When it comes to ETB, we normally have a form or a register that we distribute to all the private sectors for the doctors. Lindo, what is important is the stats. Remember, when it comes to TB, there is a national dashboard, there is a provincial dashboard for each and every province. So ke ngoku into ebalulekileyo kubo okokuba kucapturishwe aba bantu sizokwazi ukumonitharisha i-TB uba i-TB yethu is it still i-high okanye ikhona umohluko owenzekayo. When it comes to treatment, bona abayinikezwa, they are down referring their clients back to the facilities where they need to be initiated. And here in Western Cape, there is a system that is called a SPV, whereby if Asanda today attended a clinic at Guguletu, then you will be able to see, hey man, this is the same Asanda now Mfuleni, you see. It can track a client noba ebenze ntoni ngeveki or ngenyanga. So we are no longer using EDR web, we are using SPV system.
Yeah, Vaka, your suggestion is really, really good. Zamo, hello.
Oh, also, sorry, adding on as well, I think when it comes to training as well, they also need to like really be trained, because even with HIV as well, I'm handling it to the maternity program because I've done like the NIMART course. So a lot of people that are there, they don't actually know what's the protocols and how it should be. So I think also if the DOH gets to like really have open trainings for them to understand how the whole program gets to work, because ukhumbule ukuthi according to age there's like bazoqasha admin to write on the registers to do this. So bona on that side they are doing everything, so bazobalekisa umsebenzi vele, and besides nokubalekisa umsebenzi, they're also not trained on how to handle the system.
Hi Zamo. Lindo, there's a question here that came in earlier. It says, how did you, I'm looking for it. It speaks about patient, like imali, Lindo, like how did you come up with the prices, or how do you calculate patient fee?
Okay, so if you also join the SPNP group, they will actually like get to give you a guideline on how much like they've actually put on the table to say that private practitioners, this is plus or how much like people need to be charging to people. So it's also going to depend on where you are as a person. So there are some of the prices that are there whereby I saw which they're just speed skippy for the people that I'm serving. So for me, I had like a questionnaire as well, and asked my brother Oguti, can he get to distribute around, and then he can bring it back to me, because okay, he's unemployed. So like during your free time, just and then from there you come back with it. And then I saw which okay, this is how much people were ticking. This is because I did like a tick questionnaire. This is how much people were saying, this is how much people were saying. And then I was like, okay, this is what I'm deciding on, that on the first visit, because these are the bloods that I need to take, this is how much I'm going to charge. And on the follow-up visits, this is how much I'm going to charge. And then when it comes to the birthing, I need to pay the facility, I need to pay the doula, I need to pay also for the injections that you're going to be using, oxytocin, Conakion, Amapads, and all the other things, and also my fee as well included inside. So I know that I get to be like quite cheaper as compared to the other midwives that I hear in Joburg. So my thing is because I'm serving a community whereby like that's just like how much most of the people saying they're gonna be able to afford. And it's not like a lot, it's only like 30% of the population, no, kind of 20% of the population. But the other 80, if it was up to them, like they tick like 0, 0, like 003 services. So that's why I'm saying that if I'm thinking of just turning this whole thing into like being an NGO, then I really get to work like fully now with the DOH into let me carry some people and let's see.
So
But
if you turn it from being a private company to being an MPO or an NGO, then you can be able to receive funding, right?
Yeah. And I think also as well, but people also need to understand because there would be like certain things that they will need to pay for as well. Because that the funding may not be able to, because another thing is that they're also getting to look what is it that you want us to fund you on, because like I'm saying, we've got 3 MOUs here. Why do we need to be having you to get to help our people? So yeah, just a lot of research as well has to be, yeah. So I'm now I need to spend time with my friends that are doing public health so I can get the correct English when I go and negotiate.
Asanda is asking if you are using NHLS or you are using the private labs.
Private labs, but you can go to NHLS and actually just tell them that there's pricings whereby they can give you. For me, I chose not to because the waiting time, for me, I just assumed that because they are carrying like the government system. It's also a private lab, but it's just that it's carrying the government system. I saw that the waiting time may be like longer, so they're not gonna prioritize with ngobulinda usibhadala cash, let's prioritize perhaps me maybe last 6 weeks now, so maybe last 6 weeks.
The
Turnaround time of the
turnaround
results,
there,
ne?
it's very
Yeah,
poor.
yeah. And like when you go to Lancet, you pay more, but you know that after 1-2 days you've got the results, and you can always like get to take the steps.
Asanda, you good?
Yes.
There is someone who has joined us here, Zamo Ethnic. I don't know if you have something to say. Guys, anyone who has anything to say?
Yes,
Oh, hi, how are you?
I'm good, ma'am. I want to say big up to Sisi for a good work. I'm in KZN. I want to open my practice. So I wanted to know how to go about. I'm a qualified professional nurse with a PhD.
So you want to know how to open the private practice?
Yes.
I think usijoyine sithini isiXhosa Asanda sesiqhubu ngeli. But Lindo, it did take us through step by step. I don't know, Lindo, are you going to summarize or should I say the things I wrote here?
You can say the things.
Then you will add whatever that I might have missed, right? So Sis Damo, she said that she would recommend that she join a group that is SPNP. So you can Google it. I think it's South African Private Nurse Practice or something like that, right? That's step
Okay.
number 1. We are recommended that we join that group because in that group, you're going to find people that have opened practices before. And of course, there's a fee for you to join it. You're going to find people who are opening practice and people who are running practices. And they will direct you to say if you need this form, if you want to apply for Section 22 with Department of Health in terms of the drugs that you're going to use in your clinic, this is where you're going to get the form. If you want to apply for a practice number, this is where you're going to apply at BHF. You will find people that will help you register your organization or your company with CIPC.
Okay.
So Ute, once you join this group, AASPNP, you will find a lot of people who will hold your hand throughout the journey of gathering the logistics or the legalities of your practice.
Okay, ma'am.
So we are when we are applying for the practice number at BHF, kuzawufunwa i-address yale ndawo uzawusebenzela kuyo. So uba awukabi nandawo, you must use your home address and then later on you can change your address like she did.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what else did I forget. And then Ute, South African Nursing Council, kukho izinto okumele ubathumele, but the council will come back to you. And we all know that the council has no time for no one.
Yes.
Yeah, I think those are the things that I had written down. I don't know if I missed anything, Lindo.
Yeah, no,
Then
and then also when it comes to medication, also people in private practice, guys, they need to understand ukuthi in the DO, like the model from the DOH, guys, it's supported by doctors. It's just that we do not know those doctors in person. But there's licenses whereby those doctors are like I'm holding like our professional nurses angapa. So when you are going into private practice, just know that there's insurance as well that you need to take, and just take things by your scope of practice. Don't get to now find yourself prescribing psychiatric drugs, amitriptylines, pethidines, things that are above, and you're not even working with any other doctor. So just to cover
Okay.
yourself, get to also work with a doctor so that you can get to see ukuthi, all right, this is the if I'm prescribing this medication, it's gonna be supported by this person. And then I know that a lot of people unjani clinic, they also need to know ukuthi it's a model whereby they're also supported.
I need to mute someone because there's background noise so that we can properly, yeah.
So they are also like supported. So I normally say that if you've got a PhD, please definitely go for models like Unjani, because the support is so great that mentally as well, and you get to be supported into also applying things correctly, because they are also wanting to be working with DOH. So please, by all means, when you are going into private practice, like have good intentions first and foremost, and like really do things correctly. Like how we were exposed when we were training, it's just because like we needed to get our qualifications very quickly, but there's like deeper things into this field.
And I think people should not be driven by greed, right? Because there are people who get to do things that they are not supposed to do. So I'm so glad that you are emphasizing, Ugutu, we must always remember our scope of practice. At the end of the day, we are regulated by a council. Sis Zamo, are you happy, Sis Wam? Are you happy before I go to Landila?
Yes, I'm happy, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, siyabulela. Hello, Len? Lane Villa, hi.
ulanvila ngexesha sethule ne. Lindo, can you please take us through? Maybe bakhona abantu that I hear, I know for sure, but abantu are shy to ask. In terms of equipment, those beds, you see, those BP machines, take us through that, all that. You're consulting, starting from your reception, consulting number one, labor room. Mm-hmm.
Ukuba uzifumana phi ne?
Yes, I know of the places, but maybe abanye bazazi indawo, and then
Njengam andizazi mna. Where do you buy your medical furniture, guys?
yes, there are three places that I know in KZN, in here in Western Cape and Pretoria.
Can you please share?
So no, Ulindo, she must share. She's the one who has a clinic. I don't have a clinic. I was working as a clinical manager for a private one, so I have to order.
Asanda, sufuna sixabane. Share those three places, please.
You guys,
Share, what are the names of the places for furniture?
it's what? It's farm med, the first one. Farm med. Oh, my memory is very poor now. I have to switch on my laptop.
Okay, go Lindo,
Makabulindo.
makabesixelela okwangoku wena usalayita laptop. Do you know why what I love about this community? It's because we are here to help one another, all of us. Guys, I hope nyanibona ndiyabhala man, and I'm not planning to open a clinic, but I'm busy taking notes. Lindo, where did you get furniture?
Sure. Okay, guys. I think it also goes back to maybe your budget as a person.
Yeah.
Me, I didn't have any pension fund to fund myself. I was funding myself by amatoho, amatoho. I think it's just also knowing that it just came like also besides it being a pharmacy as well, it was able to carry certain medical equipment. So I was able to like get to buy from because we get like a discount when you're still like a staff member. So I used to like get to buy when I was going through those thoughts in that year. So I was like, no, let me just buy. This month I buy something, I put it in my bag and I go home. Next month I buy something, I put it in my bag. And then with the big furniture as well.
Sorry to interrupt. With this cam, we are talking BP machines, blood glucose, HB, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Those things, tapes as well that you'll use, receivers. They do also carry receivers as well. Other consumables for when I was doing wound care as well, and syringes and injections because I'm not buying for a big population. So there's other companies, big companies like Transfarm, like Cities, it's City Med, whereby private practices that have been in the game and they're ordering like in huge amounts, they get to use those companies, and you can even get medication on it, but you still need to submit your section 22 so that they can actually see that the medication that they are going to be delivering in the address that you wrote is like it's medication that is meant for your qualifications.
You are able to have a private practice without a dispensing license? You need a dispensing license.
Dispense medication.
You need it, your dispensing license.
Yeah, you need it. Oh,
Okay.
I do have it as well. I did it with Medunsa.
Okay. Mr. Leo, would you kindly request to join us, please? Because you are actually one of the people, not even one of the people, you are the number one person who asked me to do this. Mr. Leo, would you send a request? But he's asking, he says, does Unjani supply? So I once had an interest in Unjani. Unjani is an interesting model, hey?
So, how Unjani work? Okay, so with the furniture as well, for me, okay, so in the medical center, everything was there. So you don't need to buy anything. Everything is there. And then, so in the other practice as well, I went to Facebook Market and I saw with okay, I needed a bed. There was someone who was selling a bed. Oh, I needed this. Oh, there was someone who was selling this. Oh, I needed this. There was someone who was selling this. But I would say that they are like medical. You can Google, guys. When you go to Google, there's like companies that will get to give you all that you need. And it's just that it's gonna depend on your budget as well, because there's other things whereby you take a lot, and there's also like another, I just forgot the name, the other another company whereby it buys, because I use models for classes, midwifery models, pelvis, cervix, uterus. So I use this other company whereby they order for you overseas and then you just pay them. Let me just.
Leo, how are you?
Good evening, I'm fine, thanks, and yourself?
We are good, sir. I just put you on the spot like that. Are you happy
Yes,
with today's life? Because I know that you once told me that you want to get into the space of starting a private practice. Are you happy perhaps? Maybe you have more questions? I want to make sure that, because you are the requester of this meeting, I want to make sure that when you leave, you are completely happy.
Guys, I received a world of information tonight. I am so glad I came on this live because you've informed me way above my expectations, really. I'm currently doing my second year in primary healthcare, and I also hold another specialty, and I'm a teacher also in with an agency. I teach nurses, a nursing agency, and you guys have enlightened me a lot. Yes, I've been looking into private practice for maybe for next year or the year after. And hence, I did some research, I asked some questions here and there, but I must commend the guest tonight. You did a great, your guys. You just saw me Z commenting the whole time with the information that came through. I am highly appreciative. Really. And I've been asking my questions. I've answered so eloquently and all that, both of you and everybody that's asking. Guys, thank you very much. I do appreciate every single second. This was not time wasted tonight. I'm supposed to study. I'm writing tomorrow, but I'm on this live and I'm listening to you. My books I've packed away so that I can tap into this world of knowledge that you guys have. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, sir, and all the best for your test tomorrow.
Thank you.
Guys, I don't know if you have more questions for Lindo. If not, I'm gonna let Lindo to give us her last parting. Amanda, hi. So sorry. Hi, Amanda. I don't know. Let me unmute you because I don't know if you requested. Amanda? Your mic is muted, Sissy. I don't know if you... Please repeat handles. Lindo, your handles for the last time?
Sure. Okay. So on Instagram is _Lindokuhle T, and then on the clinic one it's Blooming in Grace. I think. Yeah.
Blooming in Grace. Very
Blooming in
beautiful.
Grace. Because when I tell my story, like it's just grace. Yeah,
It
from
is.
how I ended here, it's just grace as well.
It is. I don't know what to say to you. I thought I was going to bring other nurses, right? Like, because when I've always wanted to have this conversation with you, and particularly because I'm fascinated by how you do midwifery. Like, I think I'm one of the people who are going to drive from the north of Johannesburg to go deliver in Soweto because of you. Literally, I think you know I'm not a midwife at heart, right? But I'm always on your page. I also saw you on one network, and I'm like, what is this thing that Lindo is doing? I wanted to talk to you particularly because of how you do midwifery, but you gave my friends and my community so much information on how to go about doing this thing. I thought I was gonna bring another PhD nurse to come and tell us how to open a clinic, but I don't think I will do that. I don't think I will do that because I think Mr. Leo said it all. You literally left our jaws on the floor today. We are extremely grateful for you. Personally, I am watching you, and I'd like to believe our friends are also going to watch you because you are the one guest that people are requesting the Instagram. They don't even follow me on Instagram, by the way, let me tell you, but they are here asking for your Instagram account. So that actually says to me they are also going to watch you, just as I've been having the privilege of sitting and watching you become the person that you are. I look forward to seeing your hospital, in your private hospital in Soweto, a couple of years down the line, and actually saying, I sat with her when she was building the foundation of this, and we had a conversation about it. I truly appreciate the 2 hours that you took from your busy time that you should be sleeping on your bed, because probably you won't be sleeping in it anytime soon. I truly appreciate it. And people are also very thankful. People are extremely thankful. And they are gonna follow you on Instagram. Parting words, last parting words to the midwives that are here today.
Yes, to the midwives. I enjoy. Okay, I actually love
I used to
this
be.
question. Saying, are you a postgraduate midwifery? Are the studies on the horizon? Okay, I didn't want to say this in public, but yes, definitely.
I saw that comment. The first comment he left was, "I'm here to show Lindo love."
Yes, definitely. I have to be there because I I need the qualifications to also produce the evidence that I'm currently working on. So also going back to the midwifery, I feel that the type of that midwifery is something that a lot of midwives deserve to know, because we are when it comes to like medical care, trust me, we can handle a PPH, we can handle preeclampsia, well, some, but we can handle a lot of medical complications. It's also very good, but I've seen that we also need to get to know how to go back to the basics. And also, once we are focusing more on the basics, chances of us getting into the complications are also far less. And I think that's why midwives that have been into private practice for a longer time, it gets hard for them to get to manage complications, because they've been focusing more on the keeping like all like the low risk situations. So what now, like a complex situation actually comes, it becomes hard for them. So of which is actually their responsibility, and that's why as a person I say that it's actually your responsibility, that you're going out for trainings as well, you get to network with people, you really give yourselves the latest skills that you need, because even now, very same with the Nimart, it's compulsory for everyone to make it, not because you want to join an NGO that's paying well, but it's compulsory for you to get to know it, so that this person is not also turned away. Let this person also be turned away, while you have also acted on your part. And you do say why, give an indication, like, I am actually referring this person to be initiated in your clinic, because currently when we discuss the financial logistics around medication and consultations, she or he verbalized that they won't be able to actually afford. So you're giving them a light on, like, this is where you are. Oh, I'm not trained, be honest as well, I'm not trained on how to handle the HIV program or the TP program. And then let them get to see that, because today I saw that people, they're actually also they want to help us, the DOH also wants to help us, but sometimes us as private practitioners, we also like get to fly very high, whereas we are not even that high. But they're even like really wanting to help us. They want to know, why are you referring this person with complications? Get to talk. Maybe it's because I didn't have nifedipine, I didn't have amlodipine, I didn't have this. You be honest, so that they also can get to cover you, that this person got to the facility with these BP because the person that was screening this person didn't have medication. And that is also like one of the things. Yes, you'll be charged that you need next time. Just make sure that you have medication, or maybe just you give an example that you've ordered, you're producing are you producing proof that I've ordered from Transfarm, but Transfarm hasn't delivered ultimate, that's why I couldn't be able to prescribe, and that's why I referred this person to your facility. So for me, I'm just that person, because another thing is that I was trained by hardcore sisters. And another thing, like, they trained me from a motherly perspective. I've been like, so I've been loved in that way, that the sisters that I met throughout my training was just the hardcore unit managers. So even after, I tell people that even after me qualifying, I, not like I'm boasting on whatnot, but I was a very good PN. Like, I was, even my colleagues, they can tell you that, Lindo, where, look, you wouldn't even feel that you're working with a comserve, because
I mean, you got an entire whole award.
so as a person, you need to push yourself to like really leave a mark where you are. You need to leave a mark, because even at Discam, they need to like call you back and be like, hey, we are implementing this project.
We miss you, right?
We want you to be on board. So it's quite like your responsibility as a person to always be honest as well. For me, like, I get to be honest, Shem. I get to be honest because I even had a situation whereby this lady was having hyperemesis gravidarum, and I did say that I've put up normal saline because I didn't have ringas lactate in stock at the medical practice, because we know that with pregnant women, when the BP is fine, we put them on ringas lactate, you know, been vomiting, PPH, anything, put up a line, and then you take them to the hospital. I was honest to say that I'm deeply sorry, but at least the line was up. So when we got to the hospital, the matron was like, the line is up, let's just change vacuoliters.
Yeah.
So it's quite important, just push yourself into getting all the skills and just work within your scope of practice, guys. Like me, like, I'm not making any money because I always refer out. I would say that I know, you know what, when this is like this, please go to DOH. Let's get to hear from the doctor if he can continue with me or not. And Hashem, doctors are very kind. This person was like, no, this person can still continue bank with you. These are my contact details if you're coming across anything that you'd want to inquire. And I was like, this doctor is giving me personal numbers.
Sure. Yeah, because you are great. There's a person that joined us now. It's Ntombi Zodwa. She says, you guys, I resigned from my job today. It was so much for me. They wanted to take away the passion. And then she left another comment and says, only so they saw about this life now. Ntombi Zodwa, I'm so sorry that you missed out on this life. I am so sorry. I wish you could have started with us from the beginning. Honestly speaking, you missed out on a lot. And unfortunately, I do try to download the lives on TikTok, but I'm unable to post them fully on my timeline. I mean, I've had Lindokuhle for 2 hours, and I normally say my lives take 1 hour maximum. It's 1 hour 30 minutes, but here we are at 2 hours. Thank you so much, Lindo. I truly appreciate you. Guys, we are gonna leave now. It's 1 minute past 10. Lindo mentioned that we are single ladies, siyajola, sikhangelana nomshado, so we need to make phone calls before we sleep. Ati, don't be tempted to buy stolen stuff from government clinic. I wanted to see
Yes, also, guys, when you're going into private practice as well, there would be people that will be coming to things with you. So I remember this other guy was like, no, I heard from a person who's saying that you are your friend coming with a box of ARVs, and I was like, unfortunately, I personally, I don't get to dispense.
So these things, they happen, really. I'm shocked.
Of course.
I don't dispense medication, because even when it comes to tetanus injection and Adicel, they go to Clicks or Discam. I give them a script.
A person came with boxes of ARVs. Hi, guys. Hi, this is another life on its own. I'm shocked.
Well,
But Asanda came back, guys, and gave us the name of the place that you can look for equipment. It's MedPack.
biomedical.
It's what, Sister Asanda?
It's Transfarm, FarmMed. The third one, it's MedPack.
Okay. It's actually the ones that Lindo also.
It's better when you are in a process of opening your own doors. You do a quotation to all of them so that you can choose the option, you see, because it's quite expensive. Lindo paid a lot of money. But for me, when I was doing those orders, it was a clinic for the department. So I choose the quality. All of them, they are in top quality, but expensive, guys.
Okay. Siyabulela kakhulu. Thank you so much for sharing. Lindo, I'm going to release you. I don't want to keep you here until midnight. There was a public health question that I got when the live started.
You.
Uyathandwa, uyava, we love you.
And yes, guys, let's open those practices with good intentions, please. If it's not working out, there's like, you're gonna discover yourself. You're gonna see there's other things within the health as well. You know, other ladies are doing in aesthetics, other ladies, either like doing other things, within the health sector. So just get to 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 introspect yourself, because not everyone can prescribe, not everyone can like get to look after mothers in that way, but just really play it safe. For me, that's just, I'm not there for a longer time, but I'm just playing it safe. And I think that's why even it's so hard for me when a woman gets to be like, so if you're coming across a complication during labor, what do you have? And I'm like, ma'am, I've never had a complication. Like, all women got to deliver, but the SOP that I have is that this is, when we come across this is what we do. When we're coming, it's actually on paper, but practically I've never been in that situation, because already prenatally I will know if you're gonna give me problems or not. Hi.
Lindo, you're gonna make me have a second baby when I call. Thank you so much, my love. Guys, I'm going to allow Lindo to leave if she feels like leaving. I'm also going to go to bed now, but there was a question about public health, Hle. And there is also a question that I needed to ask that I didn't ask, guys. Can you please recommend, just in 5 minutes, please recommend, what do you call them? What do you call them, guys? Like the agencies. Yes, if I'm looking for I'm a registered nurse, I'm not working and I'm looking for a job, which agencies would you recommend that I contact, particularly in the Gauteng area? Please recommend now on the comment section. I hope the person that I'm asking on their behalf is actually here. I hope the person I'm asking on their behalf is here.
When it comes to agents, I'm not good. I have never moonlight, so and I really don't know. However, what I know, there is a company called Life Choices or what. At the time I was still working in the hospital, they normally call me and I will assist them with the professional nurses, enrolled nurses. Like you will do the screening, like your germs screening,
Yeah.
your poll med. So I still have their numbers, because at the point I was like tired now, and I'm telling them, no guys, I'm no longer interested in doing that. I'm tired, because, and they are, I don't want to lie, hours zabo at least akufani kunomuntu ohlele endlini.
Yeah.
So you will go even to all the departments for the screening, all your basic screening, even in prison, but you only do the staff in prison, not the inmates, you see.
Okay.
Kuthiwa it's Life Health Choices, into enjalo, but isebenzisa i-medical aid yakwa-James no-Polmed.
Thank you so much, Sister Sanda. I hope the person, I think it's Sanele, I might have forgotten the same name, but I hope he's here, because I asked him to be here because I knew you guys would give me the names and I can see them on the comment section. So I hope he's writing. Kongelani, you are the person that I've been looking for. Please answer the question about public health. Did you ask what job opportunities are there if you have a PG dip in public health? Is that what you asked? Can you please remind me, because I tried to look for the question and I
It was
couldn't
the
find
first
it.
question.
EBC Chone?
Yes, ebibuzi opportunities when you have a public health. I think it was the very first question. At 8 o'clock.
Yes, the space of public health, particularly in the HIV sector, it's a very weird space. Sister Sanda is here because if you're working with TB, you are also in public health, right? But you can be a program coordinator. Basically, you can coordinate a program, whether it's HIV or TB. But not only the qualification qualifies you to do that. Experience is also required. I mean, it means you are in leadership position. Asanda is in leadership position, and I think she didn't just get into the position that she got into. It came with experience as well. So you can do program coordination, you can do program management, you can do now as we are escalating. You can do be a clinical. What do they call them? There is a technical lead, and there is a. It's a technical advisor and a clinical advisor, ne? Yeah.
Yes.
I think those are the positions that at the moment they are on my mind. But with public health, as you do your postgraduate qualification, you are basically getting into managerial positions, and the managerial positions, they start at coordination, program coordination, then program manager, senior program manager, clinical advisor, technical advisor, director, CEO, and yeah, that's basically the hierarchy. I don't know, Kongelani, can you request and we have a conversation maybe for 2 minutes?
And just to
please
add,
report igama le agency that was for screening for germs.
health choices. It's health choices.
Kuthiwa is
I
health
will,
services, Bandase.
I will inbox uzi i-details. It's such that ngoku ndiyicimile i-laptop yam anophinde ndiphakame ibhedi ndiyoyivula because I have to retrieve my older emails to see the inamba kaNandi ke I still have it eyomphathi waphayana. But you work for James and Paul Met. Coming to indaba ye-public health, guys, as uzi esitsho ne, it's very broad indaba yakhona, and it needs experience. For me, where I am andiyanga nge-public health. It's only now that I'm busy doing my postgrad in public health. You can be a quality improvement coach or advisor. That is what I was when I was still working for TB HIV care. You can be quality assurance.
Because we're not ndifuna ukukuzisa as a guest. Ithini loo nto?
So then you can be what Uzi is doing, the quality improvement assurance with your public health. But okay, there are lots of opportunities when it comes to the NPOs or private sectors with a public health. Now, I'm currently working for the public. I go back to government this year. Njengoba ndilapha njena kwi-management, I've seen a lot of opportunities with i-public health. Government is now introducing i-public health. If kuphuma ipost ka-director, ka-assistant director, eka-clinical coordinator, uzawuba nayo indawo ethi postgrad in public health will be advantageous. So guys, don't ever underestimate xa uyenzile. If awukayenzi, go and do it. I would recommend where I am currently doing it. Pretoria, it's the best. And then as you are doing it, kweza modules, ibanale module uzayimasterisha. If you see yourself that no, I'm good in social determinants of health, then you must master it. When you're doing your masters, uyazi uba zawumejarisha ngale. I saw a comment apho umuntu ebebuza uba ndingayiyo na epidemiologist, and uzi umphendule kakuhle uba no, you need to do that. No? There are policy development. Those are the things ezenziwayo, especially xa ukwi-senior management, ngoba kufuneka ukwazi how to formulate, how to development i-policy and an SOP. Environmental factors, zezi sijongene naso. Aba bafuna uba zii-epidemiologist. Awufuni ke ubizwe phaya, kuthiwe khanimbize azos-investigatela what causes this outbreak kula area ithile. So guys, go for public health. ayiseyo abantu abathile ngoku. Nurses are there, sigcwele phaa singamanesi. Into endithandayo ngayo, every multidisciplinary team, it's there. Yayibona nje kugcwele. So there are lots of opportunities. Ngoku kwa-government, I was so surprised uba ayibo kutheni ngoku elekwe advert ifuna yona.
Yazi udla ngothi mna ndikuvisa kamnandi ne wena udla ngotsho kanjalo kum uthi yazi zi undivisa kamnandi vebe ngathi ndithwele ngawo. That's how I feel about you guys. I'm just gonna need like 5 people. If you agree with me that she needs to come as a guest, please let's make yes 5 yeses and then we summon her as a guest.
Yes.
Thank you. Igqityiwe sizayithetha efowunini because ndikunikile inumber yam. You are coming back as a guest. Asifuna uva ngawe. You are coming back as a guest.
Bye guys, good night.
Good night. Love you so much.
Love you too. Usisi lo resignileyo, please. I resign. Mna guys, I take chances. When I resigned from the department, I resigned for 2 months contract. That was in 2018 and got TB HIV care. And my colleagues were like, yo, resigning in a permanent job for a 2 months contract. And I said, yes, I'm resigning now. I just resigned and I was on duty. Dayomnikeza NSM by then, resignation letter yam. What no, Asanda, you are binded to the patients that no, Gelishwa ngoku, I have to resign and go. I've been working for TB HIV care since 2018 up until last year. So just follow your instinct. Akuzukwenzeka nix into. Mna ndaresigna with a 2 months contract kwa TB HIV care, but ndiphangele pha for 4 years.
Sure.
Kodwa bendize. You see, uzawufumana dear.
Sure. So you are coming back. Sizothetha efowunini mna nawe uba eyethu appointment inini. I can't wait.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Guys, good night. Someone says, wow, my favorite program, TB Manager. She's also my favorite, guys. But thank you to everyone that joined. You guys never disappoint. And thank you so much for being helpful towards one another. Earlier, I think 2 days ago, I got a call, right, from, I think it's the director of programs of Shout It Now. It's also an HIV prevention implementing organization. And they were asking me to come in and be their guest speaker for Nurses Day. And in public health, precisely, like Asanda says, that we play amongst other healthcare professionals, right? And in public health, you need to make yourself or build yourself a career or a reputation. Let me put it like that. You need to build yourself a reputation. And in building your reputation, you build it with your work. And your work, you are playing amongst other healthcare professionals. And what I always say is that as nurses, we've always been regarded as the career that is at the bottom of the barrel. You know, when they are counting the careers that are, as nurses, we've always been regarded as those careers that is at the bottom of the barrel. And if there's one thing that public health has taught me, or being exposed to public health has taught me, is that I get to be in the game, play on the stadium or in the ground with other healthcare professionals. We're talking lawyers. The other day I was sitting in a meeting, I think it was in 2021 in East London. I was sitting in a meeting with that was organized by Global Fund, and they were in the country from Switzerland. And the lady who was chairing that meeting was a lawyer, guys. She was a lawyer, and she was questioning us as RNs. She was questioning everyone who was in the house. Some people were medical doctors, some people were IT technicians, some people were data analysts, some people were psychologists, social workers, and they were also registered nurses. And if there's one thing I learned about public health, is that when I get on the field, I need to play like a player, not like a registered nurse, you know, the career that is at the bottom of the barrel. And that made me to know that I need to pour into myself. I need to elevate myself. I stayed 6 years without studying. I had to go back to school and do my PG dip in HIV management. I never thought I wanted to do masters until now. And it is because of public health, because I found myself in a room filled with different professionals that came from the other side of the fence. And we fall on this side, the police, the nurses, the teachers, the bottom of the barrel, we fall on this side. And then there are these ones, accountant, lawyers, doctors, who are regarded as highly esteemed in the society, while Tina Singaba. But when you get into public health, you become in one room, you are put in one playground, and you are expected to play the game together. And in playing the game, you need to make a name for yourself. And as I'm talking about this, I'm thinking about the World Cup. There was this boy that is called, I think it's Mbambe or Mbembe, something like that. He was playing for France. That boy made a name for himself, right, in the field. And in that field, there were the likes of Messi, and Messi has been a soccer star for decades. So public health is like that. Even if you are like freshly new like myself, I consider myself a baby in public health, honestly speaking, but you will get into the field and you will be expected to play with the likes of Messi. So you need to be like Mbambe. I don't know how he trained that boy, but in 2010, when World Cup was in South Africa, we didn't know that boy, but we knew Messi then. But now he was playing with Messi and he made a name for himself in the World Cup of 2023. So this is what we as nurses need to do. It's Mbappe. Yes, it's Mbappe. This is what we as nurses need to do. And I think this is why I opened this platform. I need us to show up in spaces, like in various spaces, anywhere and everywhere. I need us to show up in our full potential, in our exotic potential, in a way that people will say, yes, there is a Messi, there are doctors and lawyers, but child, there is Mbappe in the house, and it is the registered nurses, it is the ENs, it is the ANs. Because even enrolled nurses, they must not think in public health only professional nurses are getting positions. We've got HIV testing counselors, people who started as counselors who are now program coordinators. They don't even have a nursing degree or a nursing qualification. So if you are an EN, don't say, Zanele, they only accommodating RNs. No, I'm talking to all the nurses. I need us to show up at our full potential. The same way that Mbappe, they are able to make names for themselves in the midst of the likes of Ronaldo and the likes of Batman, CR7, the likes of Messi. The same way that these boys, or Neymar, they are able to make names for themselves in the midst of these gurus. We as nurses need to show up in these spaces that we share with these other healthcare professionals that are coming on the other side and actually meet the standard. I think that is how we are going to restore the image of our profession and put value in our own profession. It's in how we show up in spaces. And I was mentioning the invitation to speak at Show Me at Shout It Now because I'm invited by a program manager that doesn't know me. He knows me from social media, and he says, I'm inviting you because of the work that you do. I didn't even ask him what work do I do, but he says, I'm inviting you because of the work that you do. So in whatever that you do, remember this, even in the wards, in whatever that you do, give it your utmost best. It doesn't matter if you know that you've got an audience or you don't have an audience, but give it your utmost best. Because where you are is a stepping stone to where you want to be in the next couple of months, days, weeks, years. So give it your all. And that's just gonna be it from my preaching for the day. I love you guys so very much. I will see you guys on Friday, and I will confirm the guest on Thursday. Tomorrow I'm gonna post a video stating who am I bringing on Friday. But yeah, guys, lalan kamnandi bethu nana, love and leave you. Kwangelani, are you okay?
Sorry, I have flu. My voice is a bit, yeah. So I just wanted to ask about public health. I'm a midwife, by the way, and a respectful maternity care advocate at that. So I want to get at the public health spaces. I just want to find out if there are opportunities for midwife at the public health spaces, and if there are NGOs that that cater for midwives, because I feel like it's about time I leave the bedside midwifery. Yes, I'm a passionate midwife, and that I love midwifery with all my heart, and I feel like if I have to get out of the bedside midwifery, I still want to do something that is going to benefit the mothers and the babies. I still want to do something that is still related to midwifery. Like my passion for midwifery is just like that. I don't see myself doing anything outside midwifery. Like I love mothers and babies with all my heart. So I feel like if I want to get out of this bedside midwifery, I still want to be a respectful maternity care advocate at that. I'm sorry about my voice. Oh, I'm dying of flu.
Okay. I think I understand your question. So public health, like Asanda said, it has various divisions. And I think this should be a topic that we're going to cover when Asanda is here in terms of public health. There's a drawing that I screenshotted of public health from LinkedIn. So public health is very big. Let me put it this way. Public health is an umbrella, right? And then it has branches. So there's epidemiology, there's policy and whatever, there's maternal child health, and I think that's where you would branch into. And then you would enter into the space of developing policies or advocating for mother and child. But I think that let's pack the public health conversation. But one thing I can tell you is that public health is basically an umbrella. It has various branches. So let's pack the public health conversation, and then we can continue it when we are with Asanda. I am also going to bring in those branches because there was a screenshot that I took from LinkedIn. We literally pushed this live to 2 hours, guys. 2 hours 30 minutes. Ninje ke nina nisenibenje ningafuni uba masiyeke. Nomfundisi ukatsho athi amen icawe iphumile. Phumile ngoku icawe, guys. Masilaleni.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Good night.
Night.